Before we decided to build our own tiny home trailer, we were dead set on converting our truck Moose into our off-grid house on wheels. We even built custom hydraulic levelling legs that were strong enough to lift him straight off the ground. In this episode, we're learning from all the mistakes of the past and building a set of super strong trailer stabilisers to give us a super sturdy base.
Oh, that was abrupt.
And the best view wherever we park.
Oh, that's pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah.
So back when the plan for Moose was to be a motorhome, we built these super awesome custom levelling legs, and they were really cool. It was the hardest part about changing plans.
Yeah, we put a lot of work into them. I mean, you could even pick up the back of Moose with them to like give him a wheel change if we wanted to.
It was awesome.
They're very strong.
We made him dance.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to reuse them somehow on the trailer, and having a levelling system on the trailer would be really cool as well.
Yeah, very useful.
But I didn't think that we'd get to reuse them because they're so big and heavy, and in this current state they wouldn't really work on the trailer. But I've come up with a bit of a plan. So this is the inner from one of Moose's legs. It sounds really gross, doesn't it? Like we've amputated it from Moose. So the way it was designed on Moose was that it just kind of went up and down. But that would mean that when it's stored away up here, it would be sticking up into the habitat somewhere. So my plan is to have it mounted on the side like this. This is its stowed away position. And then it would pivot it down like this and hit the floor. And then it would keep going. And it would, you have to imagine it's lifting up the habitat now. Does that make sense? So it'll kind of be here, stowed away, comes down, stowed away, comes down, levels the trailer. So that's the plan. I think it's great that we're reusing so much stuff because I hated the fact that these were going to waste. There are some alterations that we need to do with the leg, mostly because while we are using the same like mounting point for the ram, it doesn't quite fit in the same way, so we just need to cut the legs a little bit to make space for it. I remember you making these. Yes. It took you all day.
Yes.
This was before we had fancy tools. So we just have to make this a bit wider to allow the ram to go in.
And then we're going to extend it.
Oh yeah, we're also extending the leg so it's longer, so we have a ridiculous amount of lift.
How high do you anticipate we're going to be able to lift the trailer off the ground?
Probably not very much at all. But how much we need to and how much I want to are two different things. I mean, are we doing this just because I don't want to spend the days welding all the other unfinished projects on the trailer? Maybe. But am I having fun? Yes.
We're also waiting for the bigger wheels to come.
Yeah.
Because we can't even order our braking system until we figured that out. So we're kind of in limbo at the moment. Yeah. And we would do a fun project. Not that building suspension isn't fun.
It's fun the first time and then you remember you have to build 3 more. We did such a good job making these. It was such a fun project. And now we get to do it all over again, but better. It went okay. Yeah, I'm not overly happy with this curve at the end. I think for the next ones we'll get a big 50mm annular cutter for the mag drill and make that end bit look nice, but that's it. We've got our gap for the hydraulic ram to go in.
Hooray.
There you go.
That's the maximum.
It'll be something like that, yeah.
And then when it pushes the leg down, it's going to come out like, well, no, this will be there and this will be here.
But longer.
See?
Cool. So I guess now we just got to cut out all the plates and make the mounts to mount it to the chassis. This is going to be so cool. It's ridiculous.
Can't wait to see it work in real life. But we're going to have to do so much before we can even test it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, got to run all the hoses and the electronics.
Oh. I've made some alterations to the leg. It's gotten longer. So I've added this bit on and kind of boxed it in, and then it has a bit of tube, I suppose, for the bolt to go through.
And how did you make that?
I lathed it good and proper. So now the leg's a bit longer, well, quite a bit longer. We're going to have more lift.
What a funky bracket.
I know, right? I think this is my favourite bracket I've designed.
Do you want to talk us through it?
Yeah, I think the easiest way of doing that is by putting the leg on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, so that bolt's a bit long, but there you go. Oh, well, that was easy. Is my vision making sense? So this will be stowed away up here, and then it comes down, and as it pushes down, the trailer lifts up.
Easy. Very smart, your angles.
That was what made this so difficult, is that you can see the leg comes out about, I think it's like 10 or 12 degrees. Having that angle means that our base is wider when we lift up the trailer, and the wider the base, the more stable it's going to be. So that's why it kind of comes out like that, and it looks really cool. Take my ram. This end connects up here. And now, if I've done my geometry right, there should be a point where those holes meet with the ram in its closed position. Is it looking like it's going to line up?
Oh, he wants to extend.
He wants to move. It might try and squirt oil out. We had... Should we tell them?
Well, you can probably see we've already had a hydraulic shower. It rained hydraulic oil in here a little earlier.
Yeah, we had this set up just to kind of test it. The weight of the leg pulled it down. It didn't have this check valve on, and it just, the pressure of the ram being pulled out just squirted oil straight up in the air of everything. It's a shame we weren't filming. But there you go, you can kind of see how it's going to work. That's awesome, isn't it?
I think it looks higher. This looks higher than the chassis. Right?
That's what we want. I really don't want these legs to be the lowest point on the chassis. Just like, you know, if we hit things and stuff.
I might just have to like strap up. Oh no, it's still lower.
Is it?
Yeah.
How much higher does it need to go?
Probably about 40 mil to be like right there. So maybe 50 to be safe. So do you think we just need to change where they mount to on this?
I think so. Yeah. Okay, we've whipped up new ones of these, and you can kind of see where it mounted previously, because we're using the old tab and slot method. So you can see just by moving those slots up, it's moved everything, all this bracketry up 50 mil. All right. This is so much lighter than the old leg assembly. It's crazy. It's so much more efficient. Okay.
Have we talked about the nipples?
What nipples?
The nipples on there.
Where? Oh, here. These M14 bolts have these little grease nipples on and some holes to let grease out, so we can grease these bushings in here. It's completely unnecessary, the amount of times these are going to go up and down, like, you know, but still nice to have. Okay, so that's already much better, because now the foot is sitting more flat on the floor, and now when it's up in the air, it's going to sit much higher than the chassis. So yeah, we really don't want the legs that are poking out over here to be the first thing that hits the floor if, you know, there's bumps and stuff. Cool, okay.
Are you happy with that then?
Yes. We sacrificed 50 mil of raising potential, but
we still have a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got to make 3 more now. So it's not fully mounted yet. There's one other bit that's going to go in the back. I'm going to put some plate perpendicular to this to make like a T that will attach in as well to help stiffen it this way. Looks strong. Should I stand on it?
Okay.
Not sure if I can without doing myself a mischief.
I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
So we've got to figure out where we can put this, because I really don't want the leg, when it's stowed away, to be poking out past, what did we call this bit?
We called it a departure angle.
The departure angle slope thingy. But if we put it too close this way, it's going to foul on the suspension stuff that I haven't finished making yet. From the plate to the edge of the biscuit tin is about like 85 centimetres. We can come quite close. Where does that leave the leg when it's stowed away?
Oh, it's going to be close, I think.
Yeah. God, they're heavy. We know exactly how heavy. Haley's been weighing everything, so we know exactly how much weight this is adding.
I'll tell you later.
Oh yeah. Feel free to leave some guesses in the comments. How are we looking? Do you think it's okay? Is it right on the edge? It's going to be close, isn't it?
It's like perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Happy accident?
Very happy accident.
Okay, good.
We've decided we can afford to go a little bit further forward because the height of the mount for the legs will actually kind of sit under that worst case. So we can afford to come back a few mil.
It's because it's all been designed so accurately together as one unit.
No, not making it up as we go along at all.
No.
Good morning.
We had a really late one yesterday. We were trying to finish as much as we could. It went on so long and I was so tired. I can't actually remember what the legs look like, and I've been purposely avoiding looking at them. So I want to take a step back and have a full look at the trailer with the legs in place.
Why are you turning?
Because I'm going to turn around and look at the trailer.
But you were facing that way before.
So, a nice and easy shot. Ready? Whoa! It looks like a...
It looks like a horse.
It looks like a spider.
He looks so much like a horse now.
You're focusing on the neck.
Yes, because he has a gracious neck of a steed.
It's hard to see it all in one go. It looks so cool. It's like...
We did a lot. Yesterday, Pete finished all the welding on the legs and attached them all to the chassis. And then I ran all of the hydraulic hoses. These are just the hoses that we had from Moose. And got them all in place. They were still full of loads of oil, so I made a massive mess. And Pete made a new shelf for the tank, pump, and the valve block to go on. We had a shelf very similar to this on Moose when we mocked up the hydraulics on him, but this is a much better design. It kind of unhooks, right? Yeah. So it can be very easily moved. It is temporary. We won't be using actual OSB on the real trailer. So we can get this tested today. We can raise the trailer. All going well. We need to get the valve block on and get all of these hoses connected because that's going to be what controls the legs. I'll show you our remote.
I remember that thing. It's been a while.
Yeah, so it'll be mapped out so that each set of 2 buttons does one leg. An up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I'll map it all the way around. And then if you hold them all down, it'll do all of them.
So in the future, I want to make like a computer system for the trailer, and I want to integrate somehow the electronics of this hydraulic system in with that system so that we can have like leveling sensors and stuff, so we don't have to try and do it ourselves. It'll just raise the trailer up. So I want to have, I mean, we're looking ahead into the future quite a lot, but I want to have a main computer system that controls everything, all the lights, the aircon, the heating, the slide outs, like everything. Anyway, so let's fit the last part, which is the valve block, this thing, and it appears to have some very nice, new and neat wiring.
Yeah, so this is the valve block that all the hoses go into, and like those buttons, you've got up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down for each leg, but it was a bird's nest of wiring. I think we kind of rushed through it last time we did it, and we used like household, quite a very thick, too thick gauge for what we need. So we've replaced all of the wires with much smaller wiring and just kind of organised it a bit better. And I used little crimps in it this time as well, because before we just twisted the ends of the wire, shoved it in, and we had to cut bits off to make it fit. And so I just used a little crimper. It's all very neat, it's very satisfying, and felt good for my brain.
I'm so glad you did that, because I was dreading having to figure out how all the wiring worked again.
That's quite straight as well.
Oh, it's so much neater than the first time round, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, all the wires that we used ended up getting in the way of the hydraulic hoses, which wasn't...
It's the shelf. It's the shelf that really does it. The funny thing was, when we mocked this up the last time, people were very concerned that we made our hydraulic storage shelf out of some old OSB and wonky wood. It just always stuck with me and made me laugh, that people thought that we'd gone through like all this effort to make all this fancy stuff, and then we're just going to screw it to some OSB afterwards. Oh, it's looking professional.
No, it's not.
It is, it's looking professional.
I know how all of this works, but I have forgotten how this part works. This is the little motor. What is it? Is this a motor? Yeah, and that's the pump.
No,
this is like
that's a starter.
Yeah, these all power. This is ground. I think these also all need to be powered, but possibly at a different time. Have fun.
Oh, this thing's hard to control. We've brought Moose's batteries in. This all runs on 24 volts, which is fine. It might cause difficulties later on in the future, because I think we were going to have a 48 volt system on the trailer, but we'll see.
We also wired in our mega fuse.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to fire out a lot.
It might try and shoot out some oil. Everything's wired up.
I think it's going to fire out a lot. I think we haven't thought this through. No, it's going to be really high pressure, babe.
I want to push the button.
No, it's going to be really high pressure.
Oh, if we've got any spare hose, we can just connect that out to the in, and then it'll just circulate round. One moment. What's that fun contraption?
This is the solution. Well, it just joined these shorter hoses together that we have with an adapter, and it's just going to loop through so we don't get drenched in hydraulic oil again.
Again, we're not making that mistake twice.
I have the roll at the ready.
So if I push one of these buttons now, the motor should go whir, and
We should get a click.
we should...
Wait, let me stand back for the first one.
Nothing happened.
It's not on. The remote's not on.
This light is green.
Oh,
Do you have to push this start?
yes.
Oh, I heard something click.
I can hear something.
The relays in this are working.
This happened before.
Yes. I think this brown needs to go to that positive.
Okay.
Okay, we've tweaked some things. On. Yeah! Give me some of that.
Can we hear if these are clicking? If you undo this one, then it won't switch the motor
Oh
on.
yeah, that's true. Oh?
Oh, he's got goo in him. just in case he wants to dribble.
So that sound you're hearing, that's these solenoid valves opening and closing in different directions.
Probably going to get loads of comments about how hydraulics is really heavy and probably not the best choice for our trailer.
It's quite true.
It is quite heavy, but we have like a target weight limit that we want for just the frame, and that's a ton.
Maximum.
Yeah. And I have weighed everything, so I could tell you what it's going to be.
Last chance to have a guess in the comments at how much you think the extra legs and all the hydraulic system weighs.
So each of the assembly, that includes the mounting bracket and the leg, they're 17.5 kilos each. The ram is 7 kilos. The bolts holding it in, they don't even weigh a kilo, but I've allowed a kilo. All of the hoses weigh 11 kilos. And they're all too long and are going to get cut, so that's worst case. The tank and the pump weighs 15 kilos, and the valve block weighs 10.5. So if you multiply all the legs and the rams by 4, add it all together, you get 138.5 kilos.
I think that's very reasonable.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's so we add it to our total. We're up to 813.5 kilos.
That's fine.
That's fine. So we've still got a couple of hundred to play with before we reach the limit or our target.
I think we'll be just under when all the brake system, everything's in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect. And look, it's all plumbed in. So let's prime the system.
Oh, this is exciting. So the ram's not connected to the leg, and that's just because of the bleeding process. We have to extend and
Retract.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. The leg, the ram, a bunch of times to bleed all the air out of the system. We have to do that for each leg. If we've done this correctly, this should be this one.
No. The next one down.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to stand over there, okay, because these hoses have spent a little while in a shed all winter and stuff, and if you have a little tiny split, you get these tiny little sprays of hydraulic fluid coming out at really high pressure. They look harmless, but they'll cut you, and you'll get injected with hydraulic oil. So I'm just going to go over there. On.
Oh, is it that one? Oh!
It moved. I remember this happened last time. Nothing happened and then shot out. Oh. Okay, I think we're safe.
You need to retract it now. And then bubbles.
And then you wait for the bubbles. It's all coming back to me. I'm going to go again. Ready?
Okay. That's too much.
Sounds good?
Yeah, it's not really going much lower though.
No, I think because we've bled it once, we've got the right amount of oil in the tank already. This will never not be cool. Your cleaning is ruining my fun.
I'm just checking everything.
We got any leaks? Are we good?
It seems fine.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh.
Oh, it was violent. There was a lot of bubbles then. Shall we put some more oil in there?
I'll hold the funnel. I'm no hydraulic expert, so hopefully there are some in the comments, but do you think that we need a filter of some sort? Because I've seen some hydraulic systems have a filter in, but it's just circulating the same stuff, so I don't know.
I think yes. Glug glug. Say when.
Okay.
Oh, I just saw drips here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was it quite loose?
No, it's tight. Okay, I think.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
No, it's still leaking. I think it's leaking out that one.
at the top one.
Okay, we're going to come back to this one. Let's check all the other ones, shall we? It'll be number 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is nothing happening? Oh! Any leaks? Doesn't look like it. They come out very fast, and this was a problem we had before as well. We do have a solution that we got originally for Moose's legs. This is the thing that we were talking about. This is I think it's a flow reducing valve, and it will slow down the flow of the hydraulics, essentially. So the legs will come down real smooth.
Yeah, it needs it because they are abrupt.
Yeah, this should do. I just didn't know how it plumbs in yet, and we haven't got any spare hose and stuff. So today, the trailer's just going to be abrupt. Yeah, I think that's probably the best word. Oh. It was just working. It bled, and now it's not. Oh, this one's got a leak as well. Okay, so I think we got to take this one off and that one off over there, and give them a bit of a service, because otherwise we can't fully test it if we've only got 2 out of the 4 working. Okay, we figured out the problem why that wasn't working anymore. Do you want to explain?
Looks like there's a dodgy diode in the down button. So it was fighting with the other one going in the other direction.
Let's show them. So at the moment, that's out. So Haley's going to trigger the front driver to go in. So that shouldn't happen. These are the culprits. A broken cheap diode. Don't buy cheap diodes. You don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, how this system works is you have this remote, which sends triggers to that box. And then that sends little electric signal down the wires into these relays that sit on the top and the bottom of the valves. But when you push a button on the remote, you also want to turn on the motor. So that's what this little red cable is for here. It triggers that relay, which sends the big motor on. So the only issue is, if you connect all of the relays up to trigger the motor at the same time, then every time you trigger a relay, all of the relays would trigger, because they would all be connected via that point. So what you need is, between every relay and the motor, you need a diode that only lets the electricity flow in one direction, so the electricity can't go back and also trigger all the other relays. Otherwise, without those, basically all the valves would be connected.
It would be pandemonium.
Every time you push a button on the remote, all of them will trigger. Just taken this little adapter off of the leaky RAM, and I found what's wrong with it. Let me see if I can show you. See that there? That little dark grey line? That is a crack in the metal, and it goes all the way through. Crazy. You can kind of see it going through the threads. Do you see that grey little crack there? I had no idea how that happened. Okay, luckily I had some spares. Have you got the remote? Can you trigger this one? Cool, no leaks.
Oh, Woohoo!
All right.
And I fixed the diode.
And you fixed the diode?
Well, I replaced it.
Whee! Let's see if this one goes in and out now. Oh yeah. You did it.
Does that one leak still?
I will do that next. And then...
And then it's done.
And then we're going to raise the trailer up. Yeah. Okay. A little bit more. No. Ah, there we go. Oh!
Oh, it's so abrupt.
That was very aggressive.
Now do you see why we want to put in the restrictor valve to slow it down?
Yeah. Okay, that's one done. There you go, that was easier, wasn't it? It looks so nuts.
A couple of things that we need to address, I think, before these are fully finished, is some spacers for these bolts to hold the hydraulic ram perfectly centered, because it's just going to end up fouling on this if it ever slips out. And also the feet. We need to cut them down a bit and turn up the toe and the heel so that as it comes down into the ground, it doesn't stab down into the ground. It has something to kind of guide it flat. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. We also need to get the correct size bolts. We've got some interference issues. Okay, all of the legs are up. It looks so crazy.
Why does it look like it's doing this?
Like he's galloping.
Yeah.
I don't. It just kind of does.
Such a lovely horse.
Yeah. All right, let's start with this one. Whoa. Whoa. It just makes you think of the Terminator. Whoa. Okay, this one.
Oh, got a bit of lift that time.
And the one at the end. Oh, it looks so crazy. It's just so crazy looking. Here we go. You ready? We'll lift up the back.
Okay, let's do it. So what is it, the booty?
Huh?
Is it the booty?
That's the booty.
Should we do the back first?
Yeah, okay.
Because I think we should do it at the same time.
Yeah, so you got to do two buttons at once.
Yeah.
Is it those two? Are you sure it's not those two?
No, that's... Oh yeah.
Yeah, those two, yeah.
The other thing is that as it lifts, the feet have to like...
Slide in. Yeah. Which is common how this design is. The feet just drag in.
Yeah, I wonder if they were all going up at the same time. Does it like...
Yeah,
suck
they all
its
come
feet
in and they just...
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Hydraulics, man.
Yeah,
okay,
so
you ready?
I don't know. Oh! Oh!
Should I bring up the front a little? I'm scared.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, that was just that one.
Oh.
Can you make that?
He's got a sticky solenoid.
Valve. Can you make that one go back down? Cool. That was abrupt. We really need to get that slowing valve sorted out. Yeah, we found that this one over here, valve, is a bit sticky.
It was sticky on Moose too.
Yeah. Needs a little freeing up. There we go.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Cool, everything's kind of shaking around a lot.
The wheels are completely off the floor now.
Oh, yeah.
Should we lift up the front to get it level? Whoa. Whoa. Real sturdy.
Still don't like to, you know.
That's crazy. How much? It's so tall.
It's like halfway.
I know. Should we make it go taller? What if we do all four at once?
I'm getting nervous now. I was fine before because it's just a little bit.
We'll try and do all four.
Stop! That one didn't move. Just try it on its own. And that one. Okay, it's fine. It's quite wobbly from side to side.
Well, yeah, but
Where is that coming from? I think it's coming from, like, not having spaces. Are you going all the way?
I'll go a bit more. I think it can go even taller. This is ridiculous.
Great geometry.
Really good. It's very strong.
Why don't you just lift up the front all the way?
Okay. You know why it's so wobbly? It's
Why?
the ankles.
Yes.
It's the ankles.
Yes.
There's two ways the feet can rotate.
He can go this way, but then he's got bolts that make him go this way too. And that was originally so that because it has like these pads, it would be able to conform to any surface. But like, I don't know if we need the double direction ankle. I've never seen that in like caravan feet before.
I think we need to redesign the feet. There it is. It's so hard to show how tall it's actually lifted up. That is crazy. And it's still got some ways to go. So what do you think?
We never needed to go this tall. I don't know why you designed the legs so long, to be honest. I don't know why we bothered extending that.
There is a reason why they're this long, the legs, and it's because of the geometry.
It's because the rams were so long.
The rams were so long, so we couldn't fit them in a way that worked and provided a stable mounting base kind of thing. So I had to extend those legs to fit the rams in. It was either that or buy new rams.
Which we're not going to do.
Yeah, so this is why we've ended up with very, very long legs. It was just because the ram needed to fit in within the chassis space and the geometry and stuff. It was quite tricky to figure out.
What are you doing?
I want it to go a bit higher at the back.
Oh my gosh.
I have this vision of pulling up at a campsite and not getting the best view, and then just lifting our whole trailer above everyone else.
And blocking
Being able
their
to
view.
see, yeah, just seeing everything. And it is a bit wobbly at the moment, but we're missing 3 cross members. I'm not worried about how much is wobbling, because this ankle can pivot here, and we designed it like that so that if the ground was uneven, that the foot would be able to kind of find its own level and conform to the ground, yeah? So maybe we just need to redesign the foot a bit better.
Yeah.
And lose that pivot. We're going to lose some height though.
Oh no.
No, we're going to lose like this much height. No, I'll have to extend the leg. Let's lower it.
Going down. Oh, it slides.
Yeah. The feet slide around.
I just couldn't picture how it would work before I saw it.
The front are away. This is probably the most they're ever going to be down. Realistically, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, we need stands.
We haven't put the stands at the back.
It's just splaying out.
Going back up. Oh, that's pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay, we'll put the boring stands back in.
Just temporarily, just until we finish the legs.
And there we go. Our trailer lifting extravaganza is complete. What a few weeks. This has been the craziest. My brain is spinning. Thank you so much for watching, guys.